CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Shaun Frenette.
Good evening. We begin with breaking news. A man has been rushed to hospital in critical life-threatening condition after he was stabbed on an LRT platform about 90 minutes ago. Police say the victim was stabbed several times. EMS rushed the victim, who was about 30 years old, to the Foothills Hospital. The attack happened on the upper level of the Victoria Park LRT platform. Police say a group of 5 or 6 people were standing around the victim when they arrived, and they arrested a man a short time later. Blood can be seen on the floor near the C-Train ticket machines. The stabbing happened moments before the Thomas Rhett concert ended at the Scotiabank Saddledome, and Calgary Transit is directing crowds to use the south side ramp to access C-Trains there because police have blocked off the upper level at the top of the stairs. They have also closed the pedestrian walkway over McLeod Trail as they investigate. And more breaking news tonight. Emergency crews are at the scene of a serious crash that happened just a short time ago. It happened at 8th Avenue and 19th Street Northwest. EMS says it has taken one patient in critical life-threatening condition to hospital. We have a CTV News crew on the scene right now, and we will have the latest on this developing story tomorrow morning on CTV Morning Live. A driver who lost her life in a head-on crash north of Calgary today was just 17 years old. RCMP released more information about the collision tonight. We begin with breaking news. The prime suspect in the murders of a Calgary mother and her 22-month-old daughter was brought by police to the arrest processing unit just before 11 o'clock. We do not have official word yet that he has been formally charged, so police are not naming him, but he is 34-year-old Robert Leeming, the same man who says he was questioned and released by police more than a week ago. We have several developments in this story tonight. A community remembers.
As a community, we've lost somebody. We've lost part of our community. So it's important that, we acknowledge who they were.
Cranston residents put up ribbons to remember murder victims Jasmine Lovett and her young daughter Aaliyah. Why did it happen?
We believe the suspect and Jasmine were in a relationship, and this was a targeted attack.
Police release more details on the case. And isolated scene. We take you to the area where the bodies were found.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Shaun Frenette.
Good evening. We continue with breaking news. For nearly 3 weeks, the disappearance of 25-year-old Jasmine Lovett and her 22-month-old daughter Aaliyah Sanderson remained unsolved. Police were convinced they were murdered. Today, their bodies were found, and tonight, second-degree murder charges are pending against their landlord. Robert Leeming was brought to the arrest processing unit after being in police custody for much of the day. Leeming owns a Cranston townhome where Lovett and Aaliyah lived as tenants. After he was questioned by police back on April 25th and 26th, Leeming told reporters he had nothing to do with their disappearance, and he expressed hope they would be found alive. Tonight, Leeming was escorted into the unit by 2 officers. He stared straight ahead and did not say anything. His appearance has changed since he last talked to us near his home last month. He now has a shaved head. Leeming is expected to appear in court tomorrow. Several residents of Cranston set up some visible reminders tonight to show that the victims are on their minds and in their hearts.
So the purple is for domestic violence.
Good evening. 5 years after the gruesome killings of Nathan O'Brien and his grandparents, their convicted killer is trying to get a new trial. Douglas Garland went before the Court of Appeal today. Ina Sidhu has more on the arguments his lawyers are making.
The initial search of the Garland property.
Court of Appeal reserved its decision and gave no indication when the ruling will be made. RCMP have laid numerous charges against a 22-year-old Calgary man after a standoff in High River Tuesday. Going to the vet in an emergency can be emotional for pet owners, but it's also difficult for the people who care for those animals. One Calgary vet is speaking out about mental health concerns in her field. Jordan Canagan reports. Some Indigenous students in southern Alberta are getting a unique opportunity this week. Students from the Bikani Nation Secondary School have been taking part in a 2-day workshop exploring their culture, history, and environment. Terry Vogt reports. Cavalry FC hosted their second home match of the season tonight at Spruce Meadows, taking on Valor FC from Winnipeg. The Cavs opened their season on Saturday with a 2-1 win over York 9, and they were hoping to stay unbeaten tonight. 8 minutes into the first half, it's Jose Escalante with a chance for Cavalry FC. He one-times it, but the Winnipeg keeper makes the save. 17th minute, Ali Musi with a chance for Valor, but Marco Carducci makes the save to keep it 0-0. Then in the 86th minute, Escalante takes a free kick just outside the penalty area. He scores for Cavalry FC, making it 1-0, and the crowd at the Meadows on the Green goes wild. That score holds and Cavalry wins. Cavalry FC is now 2-0, and Valor falls to 1-2. The Cavs' next game is Sunday against Forge FC in Hamilton. The Calgary Roughnecks hosted their first home playoff game since 2016 tonight. They faced the Colorado Mammoth in the Western Final. This was a low-scoring defensive battle. No scoring until midway through the second quarter. Roughnecks on the power play. Tyler Pace from behind the net, and it's 1-0 Calgary. Dying seconds of the second quarter now. It's Curtis Dixon with the quick shot. His fifth goal of the playoffs. That makes it 2-0 Calgary at halftime. Colorado finally gets on the board in the third quarter. Brian Lee takes the pass, shoots, and scores to make it 3-1 Calgary. But Calgary responds quickly. Dane Doby gets one past the Mammoth keeper here. That makes it 4-1 Roughnecks. Fourth quarter now, with Calgary up 6-3. Some great passing by the Roughnecks on the power play, and it's Dixon with the goal to make it 7-3. Later, the Mammoth give up the ball. Calgary will break in, and Reese Callies fires it home to make it 8-4 Calgary. And that score holds. The fans at the Saddledome celebrate as the Roughnecks win a low-scoring game, but 8 goals was enough to win it. Dane Doby had 2 goals and 4 assists for the Necks. Christian Del Bianco named player of the game. He stopped 47 of 51 shots for the win in front of 8,900 fans. The Eastern Final is tomorrow in Buffalo as the Bandits host the Toronto Rock. The final begins next weekend, and it will be a best of 3. Calgary will host Game 2 on May 25th at 7 p.m. The Eastern winner will host Game 1 and 3 because both the Bandits and the Rock are seeded higher than Calgary. WHL Finals, Game 5 in Vancouver tonight. The Giants stave off elimination. They beat the Prince Albert Raiders 4-3. PA leads the series 3-2 now. Game 6 will be in Prince Albert on Sunday, and Game 7 also in PA, if necessary, on Monday. The winner goes to the Memorial Cup in Halifax. Amanda Riddell from Lethbridge is a very powerful person. The mother of 3 is a record holder in powerlifting. Glenn Campbell tells us about the Athlete of the Week. All right, congratulations to Amanda. Thank you for joining us tonight. Have a great Mother's Day weekend. Good night.